Hey gamers, Minus10 here. Now in this video, I'm going to review the Logitech G915X Lightspeed, which is the replacement to the low-profile G915 that was launched in 2020. Now, the G915X's overall design is very similar to gamers, and if you enjoy low-profile keyboards, well, keep on watching. Now, with that out of the way, I'm not sure what the X stands for, but in my opinion, it stands for extremely minimal updates, to be honest. For years, my gaming rig was loaded with Logitech G-branded peripherals. Although I'm sure there is a story behind Logitech's current predicament, today I only use the MX Master 3S to edit videos. But for gaming, I no longer use any Logitech G-branded products. Over the last few years, Logitech's competitors have lapped it and left the G brand in the dust. With the launch of the G915X replacement in September 2024, well, my curiosity won me over and I ordered a board. Over the past couple months, I've been using the Logitech G915X on a regular basis and I've formed some opinions. Now, before we begin, I do want to note that I purchased the Logitech G915X with my own money, and all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. All right, let's jump in. So in the box, the G915X comes with the keyboard, a USB Type A to C cable, and an extender. If you're familiar with the original G915, the keyboard's only layout differences are the macro keys along the upper left of the now G keys. The other noticeable changes are the upgraded keycaps and the USB Type-C charging port. The latter is very much appreciated. Now, I'm a positive person, so let's start with the good. Overall, the G915X is a mediocre, low-profile gaming keyboard. However, the standout positive feature are the G915X's PBT double-shot keycaps. All the keys have a very consistent and grainy texture that feels great under the fingertips. The PBT double-shot keycaps keeps the grease to a minimum and should stand the test of time. Now, if you were a user of the original G915, those ABS keycaps were really messy and quickly lost their font printings over just a short period of time. So these new PBT double-shot keycaps are a great improvement. When Logitech launched its 2.4 GHz Lightspeed wireless technology in the mid-2010s, it was years ahead of its competition. Although most wireless gaming keyboards now use 2.4 GHz tech, Logitech's Lightspeed is still rock solid and is a consistent performer across all its wireless G-branded devices. The G915X also allows for up to 3 Bluetooth connections along with a wired option. Finally, I do view the media keys as a positive. Now, I know this is controversial, but having used the original G915 for years, I just have a soft spot for the Logitech G915 media key layout. The volume roller would benefit from clicks between each movement, but the resistance from this wheel makes up for the lack of a click. The Winlock button is always welcome, along with the very nice play, pause, forward, and backwards buttons. Hey, if you find this video review helpful, I'd really appreciate a like on the video, as well as any comments below. Your direct engagement with my content helps with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, let's get to the reality though. My G915X came with Logitech's tactile brown switches, and they just felt mushy from the start. Logitech's G915X tactile switches have a 45-gram actuation point. Now, on average, most mechanical keyboards feel fine to type on, but that's not the case for the G915X. And honestly, I'd rate the typing experience as not very good. As for the switches, the most alarming part, given the G915X's price point, is the switches are not hot swappable. I mean, why? Now, to top this, the tactile switches are so mushy, it's hard to even tell when the switch actuates. Gamers who enjoy tactile or clicky switches are gamers who really like that feeling of the crossover point, that subtle or loud click. The Logitech low-profile switches are completely missing that classic tactile bump, and the keyboard almost sounds like a membrane keyboard. It's noticeable right out of the box. If you're curious, I've included a sound test at the end of this video review so you can hear what the Logitech G915X sounds like. Although the RGB does shine through well on the G915X, Logitech's G Hub software has minimal features for gamers to modify the RGB. Gamers can assign per key RGB, but that's about it beyond a few profile colors. If the keyboard was $100 cheaper, I would gripe too hard on the switches, the RGB, and the typing experience, but for the G915X's current retail price, it's priced way out of the market. Logitech is definitely leaning really hard into its brand to add an undeserving price premium. As for polling, well, gamers are stuck at a fixed polling rate. Like the original G915, the X variant's polling rate is capped at 1000 Hz. Logitech doesn't even list this feature under the keyboard's tech specs, and I had to flush this out through ratings.com. A couple of years ago, the gaming keyboard market at this price point already moved toward higher keyboard polling rates, and today 2, 4, and even 8K polling rates are fairly common. To keep this locked at 1000 Hz, it's like the soldered switches. Mind-boggling. So to wrap this all up, the Logitech G915X, it's a hard pass at its $229 retail price. If you're locked into the Logitech G ecosystem and you can do without the media keys, gamers are much better off with the G915 TKL. Now with that said, there are better low-profile gaming keyboards in the $200 range, and if you're ready to pay a premium, I'd steer gamers towards Razer, Corsair, or Newfie brands for a low-profile keyboard. The design choices to update the G915 appear to have been locked in the 2010s, and the only real updates are the rather nice-feeling double-shot PBT keycaps, the aluminum top frame, and the USB Type-C charging. As for the rest, the form factor, connectivity, polling rates, RGB, and the G Hub app are all the same as the original. Now, I'm a fan of Logitech, and I am still rooting for the Logitech's G brand to rise out of its funk soon, as competition is always good for us gamers. For now, I don't use a single Logitech G-branded gaming device. Stay tuned to this video for a Logitech G915X sound test and unboxing. Thanks for watching.